Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben and this is my take on Tottenham. Full-time result, Tottenham 0, Leicester 2. Oh my god, we're going to rant today. We're going to go on a rant. I don't know what to say really. It was a shocking performance. Absolutely shocking performance. Unacceptable performance, I would say. Didn't show up. Did not offer anything. Absolutely anything. I never at one point thought, even if we get a goal back in this game when we were 2-0 down, I never thought at any point, even if they got a goal back, that Spurs would show enough to pull level, like sort of West Ham did back, was it back in October where they drew 3-3? No, I never saw that from this team. And I'm going to dig some players out because they need to be mentioned. And it's just, how can we go from where we were to having drawn against Palace? And yes, it is 2 losses. It's only 2 losses out of how many games we played? 13, 14 games at this point. But it's just the performances. Like we've seen Spurs win when they've played bad, but these performances, I've said this so many years, that where I don't care if Spurs play amazing and they lose, at least I can say they've left out on the pitch. You know, I've seen them turn up to North London derbies and they just don't show up. And I'm just like, how can you not show up for those games? And it's like I said, even if you lose and you can come off the pitch and say, look, better team, lost, you know, not that stuff that Jose said in a week, but anyway, better team lost, you know, we gave it everything, we left it all out on the pitch and we just couldn't get the win. It was just one of those days. I say fair enough, at least you tried. But not a single ounce of anything that happened today showed me a team that was willing to try. And I don't know what's happened literally since that Crystal Palace match, that it just seems like back to the Spurs of last season. Anyway, let's crack on. Because there's no positives. I can't give you Ndombele positives. I can't even give you Højbjerg positives today, because even he was a bit mediocre. He wasn't bad. There was a lot worse players on this list. But Højbjerg again was running around. You know, can't question his commitment, but just like everyone on this team today who played is going to get mentioned, I think, because everyone was poor. So let's start off with the obvious one. Serge Aurier, a player I've absolutely critiqued to high hell over the past few seasons, and proved me wrong this season. Has been a better player this season. Has been miles better, to a point that I actually said a couple of weeks ago, probably, I can't remember what game it was, but I said Serge Aurier ahead of Matt Doherty now in the starting lineup because the performances were there to prove that. Well, today, eat my words, because literally Serge Aurier went back to the one from last season where he's just given away stupid penalties and bloody just generally out of position, and just decided that he didn't know how to defend again, because that's the Serge Aurier from last season. Serge Aurier from this season, majority, yeah, a couple of times out of position, but generally defending was heavily improved. The lack of penalties given away was heavily improved. Today, back to the old one. The penalty was stupid, man. I mean, why are you making that challenge in the box anyway, but right before half time? The Leicester player wasn't going to be going anywhere. Why have you made that challenge? And it's just inept. That's all it is. You can't go doing that. It was the last kick of the first half, and then we found ourselves 1-0 down. It's not acceptable. And I don't know if anyone's going to notice this. I'm moving on now to the next player who I thought was absolutely diabolical today. And he didn't even play the whole game. It was Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura. What the hell is he actually offering? You cannot hide behind that Ajax hat-trick for the rest of your career. We need to see something going forward. And I'm not getting anything from him at the minute. All I see when Lucas Moura comes on currently is a player that just runs around a lot and does a couple of short passes. I've not seen anything. Like, he's a fast winger. You think he'd bomb it up and down the wings, whip the balls in, you know, things like this, maybe dink it on the inside, but nothing. He just runs around and offers absolutely bugger all. And today was the best example of it. I thought against, I think we brought him on against Leicester or Palace, was it? Same thing. He got brought on absolutely no change for this in the performance. I generally wouldn't have noticed if we were down to 10 men at that point, because that's how it feels. And look, everyone's going to dig out probably Sissoko and Alderweireld for that second goal. And by all means, they were at fault. It's so unfortunate for Alderweireld, I get it. But if anyone watched that, the whole Leicester second goal started from Lucas Moura giving the ball away. He was just dilly-dallying around, not really caring where he was, what he was doing. All of a sudden, he tries to pass it, he loses the ball, Leicester whack a long ball over the top, Spurs fail to deal with it, and just through a comedy of errors, it ends up in our own net through our own player. But the whole bloody thing started from Lucas Moura. So, honestly, it doesn't surprise me how Steven Bergwijn's been getting ahead of him. Bloody Steven Bergwijn offering more in defence and attack. I mean, at least he takes shots on goal. Like, I generally can't remember last time I saw Lucas Moura have a shot on goal. I cannot remember. And if you ask any single Spurs fan what's Lucas Moura's greatest flaw while he's in this team, he's just not contributing anything in the way of goals. Like I say, you cannot hide behind the Ajax game for the rest of your career. I am eternally grateful, and it brought so many great memories, and any Spurs fan will say that. But we can't just keep going, oh, well, he played poorly, but he did get us to the Champions League final that season. No, we need to start seeing improvements. We really do. I thought Lo Celso and Ndombele, it should work on paper. It's just not worked now. I think 3 games now, and it's just not really worked. And Ndombele was hauled off at half-time. He had a quiet game. Lo Celso had a quiet game, then he went off for an injury, which obviously brought Lucas on. You couldn't have made that up, really. That's just how Spurs' look goes sometimes. You know, you take Ndombele off as a tactical thing, and then the two, Lo Celso and Ndombele, generally swap out. When one's playing, the other will substitute for each other. And so what happens, you take Ndombele off, and Lo Celso has to come off. So I think that was a big weakness. And you know what my thoughts are. I would love to keep Ndombele on for a full 90. It just doesn't seem possible at the minute for some reason. Kane was not the worst player today. He tried. He was taking shots. You know, he was trying. Nothing was falling his way. You know, he just couldn't get any space. Leicester were really tight on him. The shots that he did manage to get away, Schmeichel pretty much tidied up pretty fast. And there wasn't really any threat from Son or Kane, to be honest. I felt Son struggled a lot more than Kane. I felt Kane did manage to get some bits of space and thread some balls through and do some shots, but I thought Son struggled way more. He just couldn't get in the game. He had one chance where it was a really good save from Schmeichel. He just didn't catch it. If Son had catched that just perfectly with a volley, probably looking at a goal, but he just sort of scuffed it with his toe. And it was a really good save still from Schmeichel, but yeah, it just really, it was just an off day for those guys. I thought Sissoko was okay today. Again, nothing special. Like I said earlier, you could say he was at fault for the second goal. He just couldn't get to the ball. Like, he was trying to win that aerial duel, and his positioning was all off, and it wasn't good. And he eventually got moved to right back because Aurier got took off. And I felt like when Sissoko moved to right back, we lost that crossing threat that Aurier does bring. He just sort of. I sort of saw a ball go out wide to Sissoko at one point. And I said to myself, that was Aurier, that would be straight in. But he looked afraid to cross it almost. And yeah, I don't know. I felt like that weakened us when we had to go with Sissoko at right back. Dyer, I've got to say about Dyer, because I've been up and down with Dyer this season. I started out really not liking it, and then we saw an improvement, then we saw some mistakes, and then I was back up again. And now we seem to be on the decline again. Dyer has had some very mediocre performances, I'd say, since maybe Chelsea. I've really noticed how bad his passing game is. He gives the ball away so much at centre-back. And I will use this as reference. Toby Alderweireld in the 2016-17 season, I think it was, banging balls from the back all the way to the up top of the pitch, getting loads of assists, and they were pinpoint through balls. The defences couldn't handle. Eric Dyer can't even pass it to just in front of the centre circle without giving it away. He gave it away against Chelsea. He was giving balls away against Palace. He did it against Liverpool, and guess what? He did it again today. And it's just giving possession away needlessly and then putting us all in danger. Looked out of position numerous times as well. Just looked weak generally in defence, and it's really hurting to say that, because I think him and Toby had a period of this season so far where they were golden. They weren't conceding. They were getting it away with every shot, brilliantly defending. Somehow has been broken now again, and I'm back on the I don't want to see Dyer at centre back. I want us to go in for Skriniar if possible in January or in the summer for next season, because I just think Dyer right now is just showing every reason why I didn't want him at centre back. I thought Toby was okay again. Did okay defensively. I just thought it was unfortunate with own goal. It's just one of those. I thought we looked quite open in the middle of the park as well. I thought that Leicester had so much time in the middle of the park, and it was just it's not good. Winks, I thought as well. Like, Winks came on for Aurier. You could maybe claim he didn't have a whole match yet, but I saw nothing from Harry Winks to want to say that he could get ahead of anybody who's been doing well in the squad lately. You know, I just, it's like Delhi. You just need to see more in these things. And I saw Winks coming on. I was just like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna do anything now. Same with Bale as well. I thought Bale was very quiet. His passing was good. He was doing some really good balls out wide and stuff, but I just thought he was a very quiet day. Nothing changed the game for Spurs in terms of the subs and everything. Nothing changed the game. I just thought it was poor performance. I thought the subs were poor. I thought the tactics were poor. And now Spurs are in a bit of a moment now where we need to figure out how to play again. Because it's all right when you're against the Man Cities and the Chelseas, and, you know, these teams are going to attack you. You can hit them on the counter-attack, whatever. But ever since Palace, they've looked exposed. And Liverpool really dominated the other night. Really, really dominated. And Leicester, like, fully deserved the win. I'm not taking anything away from Leicester. They were a very good team. They are a very good team. And I'm sure they're going to be up and around there at the end of the season where they are now. But Spurs just looked tired. They looked, I don't know, they didn't look connected. They didn't look like there was any form of cohesion. And they just looked like they had no plan B. They looked like they didn't have a plan A, to be honest, today. I thought they were so poor. I really, this and the Everton game, first game of the season, worst performances of the season. Worst performances of the season. And I'm pretty pissed off. So, yeah, so apart from that, I'm going to leave it at that. We've got Stoke on Wednesday, early evening. I think it was like 5:30 kickoff in the Carabao Cup. So that's the next game. So we'll see how that goes. As of right now, I'm worried. I don't like to say that because, you know, it's the Carabao Cup and I want to win a trophy, and I'd like to think that we'll go in with a strong squad. But right now, as of how we're playing at the minute, I'm very worried. I think Spurs are not looking good at the minute, and it's ever since that Palace draw, something's just not clicking at the minute. Something's not right, and it needs fixing fast, because the table's starting to look not great for Spurs. I think Man U are like, if Man U win today, they'll go above Spurs, and they've got a game in hand after today as well, so 2 games in hand. So yeah, Spurs need to get their act together fast. It's not looking good. So yeah, Stoke on Wednesday, and I'll be back for that video. So if you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and the like button, and comment. Let me know what you thought about that performance. I thought it was bloody terrible. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and that's pretty much it. I was going to say Merry Christmas, but I will be back on Wednesday night to do a video, so I'll say it then. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, come on you Spurs.